Hi, this is Lisa from Lizila. And what I will be showing you today is we will be reconstructing a belt. This belt in particular. Okay, so this particular belt is a very interesting shape. It goes on and it kind of ripples. So together it looks like this. You place it together and buckle it up. It's going to look like that. But I don't particularly like the dip shape. Those who do can. Those who can't don't. So for myself, I'm going to do a little change to it. Essentially what I'll be doing is I'll be turning this bell and I'll be trimming it and stitching it back down. And in the process of stitching it back down, it's going to be more of a uniformed shape. So if you see, I have already kind of started it here. So instead of it having that dip, I'll keep the same ripple effect at the top because that's fine. I like that. And then I just want it to dip down in the back area and taper back off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that curve, take my little chalk. I'm just using standard, chalkboard chalk. You can use Taylor's chalk, whatever variation of color that you choose. And I just want to curve it, essentially, to get that shape that I want. So that way it just kind of flows and then dips into the larger portion. And then repeat that same pattern on the opposite side. I started a little bit. It's a little shorter than the other side, obviously, because this side is the actual piece that buckles into the buckle itself. So as a result, I just wanted to make sure that you guys see the difference, but this one's going to be just a little shorter. So you just take the curve from where you want it and where you want to adapt it from the curve to go, and just draw that line right through there, just bold enough so you can see it. So when you go to cut. So after this, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off this end and I'm going to cut off that end and complete the shape. So and then after that, because if you see very carefully, it's externally top stitched. You see the top stitching right there. So that top stitching is what we want to continue forward to complete the pattern so it doesn't look like botchy, essentially. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors. If you have a rotary cutter, some can use a rotary cutter, personal preference. So I will be taking my scissors. This is just standard scissors. I don't use my fabric cutting shears for that. It's just standard heavy duty type of scissors. And I will be clipping right below where I made the chalk mark. And there we go. And as you can see, I took that piece off. You can just discard that. And the start of the shape, as you can see, is right here. A little bit forward, and then you just go to this side over here. And repeat. Cut. Of course, this side's going to be a little longer just because this is the way the belt was made. This is an older belt. It was a vintage belt. It was made in Spain. So got it at a thrift store. I just like the shape of it. At some point I will be polishing it to get, because you also see there's kind of tarnished. So it's my thrifted belt that I will be augmenting a little bit more. And then here, you'll be taking that piece. Once again, let me turn this around. And I'll be cutting from there, just below my marker line. There we go. And that's all done, so you just discard that. And then I will be stitching and then fusing the edges together just to make sure that it stays put. And I will be right back. Alright, so now we're over by my machine. And now over here, you can see it's an older machine. This is an older Singer So if you have a lighter weight machine, not a heavy weight machine, you may need it. You're most likely going to need like a denim or leather needle, and you're going to have to take your time with it. But if you have an industrial machine, or like my older singer, a tabletop one, then it should stitch through it like butter. So I've already done one side. Just to give you a overview, I'm about to do the other side. So this is, you know, mainly the stitch that it was, and then where I cut off to complete the search, this is that side. So if you can see, I'll try to focus in a little bit closer, you'll see the top stitching that I have done. Please don't mind my hard nail polish. Just to complete the stitch. It was a finer stitch before, but I did a larger stitch just so you guys can see. It's the same tone thread, so it's not really going to affect. Plus it'll be in the back of the dress anyway, or the belt. And then, you know, the strands, then I'll show you how to just take those off, and then we'll do the same type of finishing edge like how that is. I'll show you how to, you know, that just the same. So first things first, we're going to finish up here with the stitching portion. So I'm going to do that right now, and you can watch and see while I do that. And then you just clip away the excess. Actually, let me see right here. So then you just clip away the excess. And then I will be tapering this in right here. Table. So everything's been stitched. So now at that shape that it was before, and I'll show you a picture before, and the shape that it is now. It's totally uniform, so it looks like a completely smooth belt. You never would have thought that it was separated or cut to taper. So from here, what we're going to do just to make sure that it doesn't look so raw like how the other one is you can do a number of different things. Now in this aspect of it, it's either you could just put some heat to it, or sometimes you can just color it with a marker if you choose to. It depends on what you have. Me, sometimes I like to use, I have a little butane torch, a little short torch I use, and I use that. Or I use my little torch, and I actually attach it with a piece of metal. So just something like this, like it's usually like the end of a spoon, something like that. Just heat it up just so it can get melted. So turn my torch on. My torch is lit, and then I just heat it up just enough to get it warm, and then you just take it and you kind of just use it, because remember it is hide, so leather can burn, and it'll just make it flat. You just go through and just kind of just ease off the hide itself. Or if sometimes you're lazy, because sometimes I can be lazy too, you can just go directly to it and it'll do it on its own and just hide up. So you can tell it just got a little darker in the other end. And then once that's all said and done, you're all set, and your belt that you customized is ready to wear. And I will show you in the end how I style it, so you get an idea of what you do with some of your thrifted belts. And you have a good day. Bye.